everyone, George here, and we are going to now start to work with the actual animatronic NPC moving around our area. In the last video, we set up all of our waypoints, and now we just need the logic on our NPC to use the waypoints appropriately as well as the nav mesh. So let's go ahead and grab Foxy really quick and make sure I've got stuff set up. So we already have it with a collider, we've got a nav mesh agent, we've got the navigation script, and then we have animatronic path logic. Now Foxy navigation is a useless script. We're going to get rid of that right now because animatronic path logic is the one that's taking over for this. So let's go to remove component and then let's find Foxy navigation. We're going to delete that as well. Delete, yes. And great. So now we have our waypoint open over here, and then we have our animatronic path logic over here. At the moment, we have an animatronic current waypoint is equal to null. That's the waypoint we currently are headed towards. And what we also need to do is okay, the first thing we should probably do is this. We're going to do move between waypoints. That's the first kind of logic we're going to do. And then we're going to do move to player. And then we're going to follow that up with alternate between waypoints and player. Okay. All right, so the first thing we will probably want to do is create some sort of a function called so we have set waypoint, and that gets set by the waypoint when you collide with the waypoint. So we don't need to worry about setting our waypoint. We just need to continually update and move towards that waypoint. And actually, we don't even need to update that. Inside of set waypoint, what we want to do is we want to grab our nav mesh agent, right? I made a backup. This project contains scripts and assemblies that use obsolete APIs. What? Okay, we're going to ignore that for right now. I don't know why it said that. That's weird. Anyway, let's collapse that. Let's go back to Foxy. We do have a nav mesh agent, so let's do that really quick. So nav mesh agent and nav mesh agent. Nav mesh. Is this under like Unity dot using Unity engine dot navigation or something, or AI? AI. How about that? Nav mesh agent, there we go, nav mesh agent, and we're going to grab that. I like doing that in awake instead of start, so we're going to do it there. So let's go ahead and do this, and it's going to be equal to this dot get component nav mesh agent. Okay. And do I need to grab anything else? I might need to grab the collider, and I might need to, and I don't need to grab the logic script because this is the logic script. Let's go ahead and grab the collider just because. Collider, and then we'll do collider is equal to get component, and then we'll do collider. And let's put a this at the beginning just so I'm consistent with what I'm doing. And now what we need to do is inside of set waypoint, once we establish a new waypoint, we need to do nav mesh agent dot target. Let's see, isn't there a target I thought? Or set target? Set path, what is it? All right, it looks like it's set destination, so we're gonna do that. For some reason I thought it was target. Maybe it's the API's changed? I don't know. But that's going to be current waypoint dot transform dot position. That'll get us to where we need to go, and then it should automatically start moving to that location. And what's next then? Well, let's come over here really fast. I don't want to work in VR at the moment, so I'm going to quit. I'm going to go to edit project settings input, not input, edit project settings, and player. We're going to go to XR settings, turn that off for right now, save, and we're going to grab Foxy. And we're going to break a few things. So I'm going to hit run, and the camera fell through the world because it doesn't have any kind of anything on it. So there's the camera right there. The floor doesn't have a collider on it. So let's go to the floor, add component, mesh collider, just so the camera sticks around. Not that it needs to, but I just don't like it falling through the floor. And good, at least the camera's not falling through the floor. So we have Foxy over here, and we have the animatronic waypoints. So all we need to do is hopefully drag Foxy over to one of these waypoints. and he will, what is this? No script. Uh-oh, what is all this? No script asset for game object selection item. What is that? I don't know what that is. Okay. So nav mesh agent. So wait, the collider on this guy, is it a trigger? This guy doesn't have a rigid body, so let's add a rigid body. It's not going to trigger anything without a rigid body. So there we go. Gravity's fine. His kinematic would be okay, I suppose. Let's just see what happens here. I'm going to grab him. Let's do some double checking here. Let's add a starting waypoint. So let's do animatronic waypoint debug start destination, and we'll do a serialized field on that. Come over here, grab Foxy again. You know what? I think I'm going to make this kinematic. Come on. Rigid body is kinematic. I'm going to turn gravity off. Continuous. We need a waypoint to start off with, so let's grab a waypoint. No, not a waypoint. We need animatronic waypoints to start with. Let's freeze Foxy so I can actually see what I'm doing. Animatronic waypoints. Let's pick one. Let's pick... That waypoint doesn't have any. Geez, some of these don't have any kind of... Did I lose? It looks like I lost. Hold on. So if I have so many connections, how come they're crud? All right, let's go waypoint 2. I just kind of want to see what happens. Now let's hit run. So we need to do nav mesh agent dot set destination, and that's going to be debug start destination dot transform dot position. Okay, let's see what happens now. Okay, so Foxy's moving now. Oh, he set the path. And he moved to the next one. He actually didn't go to the first one. So the logic, we got to see whether or not we're triggering things. So in animatronic waypoint and on trigger enter, I bet Foxy is not of type animatronic. That's probably the first thing that's a problem. So let's go to tag and set that to animatronic. Come on, add tag. Oh, come on now. See, Unity sometimes does this where the stupid inspector doesn't work. Let's open another one. Can we open up another window, another inspector? How do I do that? Window, general, inspector. Fine, can we close this? Let's close the tab and open up a new inspector and see if the reset works. Yes, that worked. Okay, great. So, animatronic. Hopefully I spelled that right. And let us first go in here and do some debug testing. If waypoints is greater than that, we'll do debug.log. And actually, I'm gonna move this down a little bit to, let's see, logic.setWaypoint. Debug.log, waypoint set to, and then can I do waypoints random index dot name, and come back over to Unity and see what happens. Okay. Nothing happened. So we need to know whether or not this is even getting triggered. So let's do debug.log and do waypoint triggered. Okay. Waypoint triggered, so that did happen. So the next thing is I spell it right. So other.tag, other is the other object, And let's just make sure that's correct. Let's minus. I don't know why you can't save. Let's close out of this. Let's do something else. Save that, and let's see, what other logic is causing problems? If waypoints.length is greater than 0, so that shouldn't be an issue. So if logic exists, that is if animation path logic equals other.gameObject.getComponent animation logic path. So that could be another flaw. So let's just make sure that's not an issue. So when when Foxy gets grabbed, animation path logic is right there. There shouldn't be any other colliders on this object. Okay, so let's do debug.log. I know I could technically step through this with the debugger, but I like the logs better. Animatronic found, and then debug.log. More than 0 waypoints found, and then we'll do. We already know that one. We don't need another debug.log in that, do we? So let's see what happens. Turn this off, save things, hit run. So the only thing that happens is waypoint is triggered. Oh, you know what? It's now going to be untagged because I deleted the tag. So let's add the tag back now. Oh, and of course the game was running, so I need to go back and add the tag. So let's try that again. It's funny to see him glide. Index out of range. So, what do we, animatronic found, waypoint found, more than 0 waypoints found, index range, index out of. On trigger enter, debug.log saying the random index is out of range. So int random index is equal to random.next. Oh, geez, I didn't put in the maximum size. Okay. So I need to put in, what is it? I believe it's not inclusive, so it needs to be the length of it. So 0 to waypoints.length. There we are. Stupid me, once again. Let's go ahead and start. Found another waypoint. Found a different waypoint. Where is he going? I might need something to make sure that they don't go backwards so often, because that's kind of funny. All right, and I believe that waypoint doesn't have any kind of a... how come I can't see any of the points anymore? Did the tag, did this get turned off? No. Because I should... Does this get reset? Whenever you actually... That's dumb if it does. And it doesn't let me do more than one at a time. So what's the point? That's annoying, to say the least. Why did I lose the reference? What a load of crap. I don't feel like doing that. So I want to see if I can't just... Of course, I'm not going to be able to select them. All right, so... Fast forward. All right, I only did a couple of them. Because once again, I want to see if I close Unity, if I lose all this stuff again, because then I'm not going to bother doing it every time. Okay, now we need logic for if it sees a player. So coming back over here, we're going to want to probably have a field of view. And I'm trying to think what else we might want to do. So we're going to need a player tag. So let's go in here and create a 3D object. We'll make it a capsule. Good old capsule. Reset it to the origin. And stick it somewhere where it won't be seen at first. Just right there is fine. Do we have a player tag? Yes, we do. We're going to make that player. And we're going to need to do some sort of a test to see whether or not we see the player. So how do I want to do this? Do I want to continually do a distance check and then do a dot product check? Do I want to do, but if you're behind something, I don't want him, what's the right word here? I don't want him to, this could be a little bit more complicated than I thought. Does the physics engine have, I know they have array cast, but do they have like a, I was kind of thinking more like a cone. So we're going to need a reference to the player. So let's grab that and let's just make that a game object right now. And we'll do player is equal to game object dot find game object with tag, and that will be player. Inside of here, let's do, actually, let's do different. Let's do this player collider. We're going to change things up a little bit. Is equal to player dot get component collider. And player collider needs to be, let's see, you need a new name. Let's also come back here. The capsule by default has a capsule collider. Yes, I know there's something wrong. There's always something wrong. So now that we've got that, so we can do a player collider dot raycast. Now does that test against everything in the scene or just collider dot raycast? It ignores all colliders except for this one. So that's not really what I want. All right, so we're going to do physics instead. So physics.raycast, we need a, what is it, array, raycast hit info, I think that's the standard thing, and then we do inside of this an if statement, if I remember right, if raycast, blah, 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 blah. Now we need to pass it a few things. We pass it array if we want to. Do we want to define array? Let's see, ray is equal to, ray is equal to new ray. And let's see, origin and direction is what we can do. So our origin is going to be us. So this dot transform dot position, actually it's going to be our head. But for right now, who cares? We're just going to go with that. And then our direction is going to be towards the player. So that's going to be player dot transform dot position minus this dot transform dot position, because when you subtract two vectors together, it goes from this vector to that vector. Okay, so now we have a direction. Now physics.raycast, we pass in our ray. So we'll do ray and maximum distance. There's probably a distance that the guy can see. I'm going to set it to be 10.0 meters at the moment, and there's a layer mask. Oh, we need this out. So let's do out info, and there's that. And then we're not going to deal with a layer yet. And actually, let's come up here and do serializable field, serialized field, float site distance is equal to 10.0f, and that way I can adjust it while I'm playing this thing. Do this right here. Okay, so now we've got a maximum site distance. Now this is okay. You know what? I'm not gonna fudge around with this right now. I can do this a couple different ways, and I'll implement them later if things don't work out, like adding to the left or to the right of the object to see whether or not I can still kind of see him around corners. But that doesn't matter right now. So let's just continue on. And what are you giving me crap? Oh, that's why. Okay. And you go away and you go back. Okay, physics.raycast. Now that I've done a raycast and I did hit the object, I need to switch my state from going to waypoints to going to players. So I might want to have a state. So let's make an enumerator. We'll do private or protected enumerator enum. And we're going to call this animatronic state for right now. And then we'll do follow waypoints, follow player. There might be other states in the future. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to capitalize these. So let's create an animatronic state. And actually, I'm going to make this a serializable field as well, so that I can tell what the state is outside in the Unity editor to debug things. So we'll do serializable field animatronic state. State is equal to animatronic state dot follow waypoints. And now that we've done that, once we see the player, we're going to do state is equal to animatronic state dot follow player. Okay, and then we need to start following player script or something. Okay, so what's going to happen when we start following the player? Well, we need to change the NavMesh agent's destination. So we're immediately going to do that. So let's do this is going to be player.transform.position instead. We're only going to, let's see, we only want to do this test. No, I'm trying to think. We're going to do this test all the time for right now. And the only time, if we don't see the player, so else if, and we are in seeking mode, as if the player's gotten away from us, state dot, what am I doing? And state is equal to animatronic state dot follow player. Then we are going to set our state to dot follow waypoints, and then we're going to have our NavMesh agent go to the closest waypoint that we can find. And this could be a little bit tricky based upon where we happen to be in the scene. Why is this frozen? Because the closest waypoint might be through a wall. So what we'd want to do is grab a list of all waypoints, iterate through them, and find the closest waypoint, I guess. So protected, void, find, you know what, it's fine. Void, find closest waypoint. And so, like I said, we're going to need a list of all the waypoints, so I might as well grab that at the beginning of the game. So waypoints, or animatronic waypoints, waypoints is nothing right now. We're going to grab waypoints and we're going to go to awake, and we're going to do waypoints is equal to find. We can do this by tag, can't we? Because all waypoints are tagged. So game object dot find. Come on. Game object dot find game objects with tag and animatronic waypoint. Oh, I'm sorry. This returns game objects only. So we're going to need waypoint. So let's make a temporary variable. Let's just do game object. Object temp waypoints is equal to that. Ding. It's an array, George. Okay. Now we need to iterate through them all. Can I just grab my loop from over here? Where did I do it? I did it somewhere else already. I know I did. All right. Well, I'm just going to grab that, paste this here. And this is going to be temp waypoints.length. We also need waypoints to equal something. Waypoints is equal to new. Screw it. Let's do No, I need to do it here because I need to know the length. New animatronic waypoints array, and it's going to be of size temp waypoints dot length. Now we iterate over every waypoint, and that waypoint is going to be equal to temp waypoints dot get component, temp waypoints dot I dot get component, and that's going to be, and this should be waypoints I. This doesn't make any sense. The if check makes no sense unless I should be testing temp waypoint, but that's fine. Get component animatronic waypoint. All right. So we've got that now. So we should be good to go there, right? So that's that for loop. We missed another one. So there's that. So now I can iterate over waypoints. So find closest point. So we'll do another for loop. So let's grab this. And so we iterate over every waypoint, and we are going to check the distance to that waypoint. So waypoints, what is it? Vector 3 dot distance and vector A and vector B. So it's going to be this dot transform dot position, and then it's going to be waypoints I. And then we're going to do a float distances equals a new float array of size waypoints dot length. And what are you giving me crap for? Oh, geez, idiot me. There we go. Better. Okay, so we grab waypoints I, cannot convert from animatronic waypoint to unity dot transform dot position. Okay. See, I don't know if I necessarily need the waypoints after all. I might just be able to work with the transforms on them. But for right now, I'll grab them. Maybe in the future, I'll need them for something else. You know, it is what it is. I already have them, so I might as well use them. And you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to do it manually. Float smallest value is equal to... Actually, you know what? I can just do this while I'm incrementing through them, can't I? So we're going to do float smallest value is equal to 0.0 waypoints 0, the first element. Dot transform dot position. Oh, I have to do that first check, don't I, outside of this? So I need to do this first, and then I'll do the loop for the rest. So we're going to do that. Vector 3, this dot transform, this dot 0. And technically, I need to do a check to see whether or not if we actually have enough points to do this. If waypoints dot length is greater than 0, which is what I need to do that first loop, then we do distances. Yeah, I grab the first distance, and that's going to be equal to smallest value, and then I'm going to iterate through this. I'm going to start at element 1. I'm going to go to the length of it, and then I++, and then I'm going to do this here, and I'm going to do a check. So let's do float temp is equal to that. Now I'm going to do if temp is less than smallest value, and the smallest value is equal to temp. I also need to store the index of the one that I'm dealing with. Smallest value, and then int smallest index is equal to 0 as well. And then that, so this will happen, and then we will do smallest index is equal to I. Okay, so that's going to sort our points for us, and we want this to return to us a valid waypoint. So animatronic waypoint. And I should probably call this, there we go. Find closest animatronic. Will not all code paths return a value. All right, we're getting to that. Don't you worry. So then what we're going to do here is, so if waypoints.length is greater than 0, If it's not, then we're going to return, if waypoints.length is greater than 0, then do all this. Otherwise, we're going to return null. Otherwise, when we're done with the for loop, we're going to return, let's see, what is it? Waypoints smallest index. Okay, so that should find the closest one for us. So this is under find close. This is after the switch happens. So if state.animatronic.follow player and we no longer can see that player, then we are going to do this, and we're going to set waypoint, animatronic waypoint, point is equal to that, and then this dot transform dot position. Okay, I'm kind of happy with that, I think. So let's see how badly I broke everything. How about that? Coming back over here now. So there's the player. Now, right now, we haven't implemented anything to restrict Foxy's line of sight. We might want to institute a dot product after this, but once again, this video is already almost 40 minutes, so I'm probably going to wait till the next video to do that. But anyway, we're going to hit run. Oh, crap. Where are you going? Oh, geez. Oh, geez. Okay. Is there something I can do to stop him from... What's he doing? He's confused. Oh, you know what? The walls don't have colliders on them. Let's grab the walls, add component, and we'll do a mesh collider really quick. At least that way we can test the walls. Okay, I want to... All right, he went back to the waypoints, it looks like. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm going to go in here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, something's not working. Hold on, let me just make sure I didn't have it in game mode. Let me grab... We have a mesh collider on it, so that's good. What about this? Can we add just a box collider really quick? And then maybe box colliders to each of these elements right here. I just want to see... I just want to see what's going on. Let's add box colliders. Okay. Let's hit run. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So is it doing it at the base of his... No, it's doing it right there at his head. The intersection tests. So how did I get out of his... All right, I'm not getting out of that for some reason. Let's take a look. So find... Oh, another thing is set waypoint should not be called if we're following the player. So if state does not equal animatronic state dot follow player, that's another biggie, because I don't want him to accidentally go over a nav point and then change his mind on what he's doing. So if physics.raycast.out.info site distance. Oh, you know what? This is if it hits anything. I need to make sure that it's the player. Derp. So if info dot was it collider dot tag is equal or equals. We're going to do player. Then we do this. That's why it was constantly doing it. Once again, stupid little logic mistakes like that screw you over in the end. Okay, now let's give this a go. Okay, now he can't see me. Now what happens? Hello? Let's see if he comes out. Can't see me. But he's stuck. It's like he doesn't have a waypoint. So let's go back over here now, check our waypoints, or our animatronic waypoints. Yeah, he doesn't have a waypoint. So did anything fail? I don't see any failures. So else if state is equal to follow player, which it was. So if we don't see the player, that's something else. And also if we don't, it's not the player. If we have a raycast, we hit stuff. If it's not the player, do this. Else, if animatronic state, we're going to put this inside of here. Actually, we're going to do this twice. Because we also want to change the state inside of here, because if we don't hit the player, we've blocked it. So let's get rid of that. Else, if, once again, if the state happens to be that we are chasing the player, else if, then we're going to do this nonsense, switching to follow waypoints. All right, let's see if that fixes it. Come on. Come on. Whoop. 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 Hey. I'm guessing he's getting self-intersections. That's why sometimes he follows me and sometimes he doesn't. The raycasts are actually hitting his body. Looks like it's now working. So that was it. I just had a stupid little mistake in where the logic was. So now he'll move around from waypoint to waypoint until he sees me. Uh-oh. That's a problem. Oh, he didn't. All right, yeah, I'm gonna have to mask him from his raycast, so that's gonna be something. All right, anyway, this video is way too long. I am gonna call it quits for right now. I will see you all next time. So long and good night.